Alright, please excuse the crudeness of this video. I didn't realize whenever I was going to be recording it with my iPhone it was going to be stuck in a vertical scene like that. I thought maybe I'd be able to pick up more of the picture. But I thought I would document, kind of videotape, start off my YouTube channel with my computer upgrade. What stirred this computer upgrade is I had a couple individuals that I play video games with upgrading, and their upgrades wasn't really quite significant compared to what I had. This was basically a hand me down from a buddy I got about 4 or 5 years ago. He upgraded, and this just happened to be some things that he had left behind, and I wasn't exactly not getting good gaming performance, but I wasn't really having as good of a gaming performance as my buddies, who had like 3.4, 3.6 gigahertz processors, where I only had the 2.7, and my graphics card was a 590 GTX 590. Yeah, GTX 590. So I thought maybe it was time for an upgrade since everyone else was, and this was November 2016. So I was like, Black Friday's coming up. I'll find out what kind of deals I can get. Whenever I was making my computer build, and this is my very first true computer build, I was trying to find a balance, and it's so hard to find a balance because whenever you do computer builds, it seems like you're either going for gaming or you're going for a workstation. Well, we have a lot of things in my career field where we do CAD and CAM computing, and I wanted to be able to do that in my off time on my home PC. So I wanted to make sure I had some workstation qualities. So that means a little bit more cores, but I wanted to make sure I was able to keep those cores clocked high enough to be able to keep up with my buddies that I was gaming with. So I figured, the 6850X being 6 core had more cores to kind of help me with my processing, and I've seen people put all in one like closed water cooling loops, and from the reviews, people are like overclocking those anywhere between 4.3 to 4.6 gigahertz stable. So I was like, maybe I'll just do that, and that's still the goal. Put a closed water cooler loop on it and run it like that. But we'll get back to this. So that was the plan. Put some more RAM in it and upgrade the GPU. Well, I had to buy a new motherboard. I really love this motherboard. It's the ASIC Strix version. It's got the Aurora RGB. I haven't really messed with the RGB yet. I'm still kind of enjoying the PC for what it is. Kind of learning things about it here and there. And then I put the M.2 on it, so that way that's got all my operating system stuff on it like that. It boots really fast. I got 32 gigabytes of fucking RAM. That's pretty cool. And I haven't really been able to tax it yet. I don't think I've ever ran it over 60%. 32 gigabytes is quite a bit. And right here you'll see I'm cleaning up the stock Intel cooler that was on the old build. I quickly realized that I wasn't going to be able to use that. It just shows how amateur I am at computer builds. I ended up having to go to the local Goodwill store here in Okinawa, Japan. That's a computer store over here, and buy a Cooler Master Gemini S524 version 2. I thought it was gonna work until I actually cleaned it up and everything, and I was like, oh wait, this is a different kind of fastener. So I went and grabbed this one from Goodwill. I was really surprised I didn't have to take the motherboard out if I can, put anything on the back or anything like that. It was super awesome, super sweet, and everything worked out. Only other thing of note is whenever I put this in and I started booting, I was playing it and everything for maybe a couple weeks, and all of a sudden the computer just wouldn't turn on, wouldn't boot, and I was hearing a noise from a power supply. I tried doing the test for the CPU, RAM, and all that. Everything was working, just it wouldn't boot. It wouldn't boot all the way up. And went and bought a new power supply. Now they didn't have a great selection at the Goodwill here. All they had was the most common brands, so to get the more money out of people. They happen to have a Corsair 1000 watt fully modular. I went for that. Obviously, I don't need 1,000 watts, but that way I won't have to worry about upgrading to another power supply soon. Hopefully, knock on wood. But it's fully modular. I'll be able to control how many cables I have in it versus where the semi-modular I had a cable in there that I wasn't even using. So that worked out, and I definitely think anyways, so that worked out. Other than that, the only noticeable note is I was going to put my 590 back in here. You'll see at the end, I actually took the heat sinks off my 590 and replaced the thermal paste, just to kind of like see if I could. And I was going to use it until I bought the 1080 Ti. Well, at the time, this is December, January, I was doing this build, 1080 Ti was still not released. Right now, I don't really have the funds to be able to afford that. But I was going to put the 1080 Ti in it because I wanted all the CUDA cores to be able to do the processing powers of doing CPU and like, well, not CPU, CAD and CAM drawing, along with 3D modeling, stuff like that. So what I ended up doing is my buddy sold me his 970 super clocked for like a couple $100. I couldn't pass it up, so I ended up putting that in there, and that's the way the current rig stands right now. 6 cores, 32 gigs, and 970 super clocked. I'm having great results right now, and I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I'll get to do some upgrades here in the future. I plan on maybe like case upgrade, RGB lights, and an all-enclosed water cooling loop with some overclocking. But as of right now, this is what we're going with, and it's fun. I'll let you know if there's any more updates.